English is not my first language, so please ignore the spelling and grammar mistakes. This story is completely based on imagination and has nothing to do with the real characters. Please do not comment negatively. All the songs and photos are used in this video are not mine, so the credit goes to the respective owners. I own the storyline and this small editing. I'm using Jungkook AI voice. Jungkook was outside the airport when he suddenly bumped into a woman. She was in a hurry. "Oof!" the woman yelped, dropping her phone. She was pretty, wearing high heels and a tight dress. Her hair was disheveled from the bump. She bent down to pick up her phone. Jungkook watched, unfazed. Jungkook couldn't help but stare at her curvy figure, his heart racing slightly. He quickly shook his head, snapping out of his daze. He bent down to help her pick up her phone, his hand brushing against hers.
"I'm so sorry, miss."
She snatched her phone from his hand, straightening up and smoothing her skirt, blushing slightly at his accidental touch. She looked him up and down, taking in his handsome face. "Watch where you're going next time, huh?" she snapped, her voice sharp despite her flushed cheeks. Jungkook's gaze lingers on you for a moment longer than necessary, his fingers gently brushing against your skin.
"Of course, miss. My apologies again."
His eyes never leaving yours. She feels a shiver run down her spine at his deep voice and lingering gaze. Shaking her head, she grabs her suitcase handle tighter, trying to maintain her composure. "Whatever, I have to go," she says, as she walks away to take a taxi. Jungkook watches as she walks away, his eyes fixed on her swaying hips and the click of her heels against the pavement. He licks his lips, a smirk tugging at them. Without hesitation, he follows behind her at a discreet distance, curiosity and interest getting the better of him. She gets into the taxi, completely unaware of his following. The taxi driver closes the door and starts driving. She checks her reflection in the mirror, fixing her hair and noticing how flushed she still is from their brief encounter. "To my hotel, please." Jungkook quickly hails a cab of his own, jumping in.
"Follow the taxi."
He settles into the back seat, his eyes never leaving the taxi in front of him. The taxi ride goes on for about 10 minutes before arriving at the hotel. She steps out, paying the driver and gathering her luggage. The bright hotel lobby lights shine down on her as she enters. Jungkook steps out of his cab and follows her into the lobby, his eyes scanning the area for her. He spots her standing at the reception desk, checking in. She leans against the counter, flipping her hair as she chats with the receptionist. After receiving her room key, she grabs her luggage and heads toward the elevators. Jungkook approaches the receptionist, his presence commanding attention. He asks the receptionist for the room number of the woman he's been following. The receptionist, intimidated by Jungkook's aura, quickly tells him her room number without hesitation. Room 1403. Armed with her room number, Jungkook takes the elevator up to the 14th floor. He steps out, his footsteps echoing down the hallway as he makes his way to room 1403. He stops in front of her door.
"I forgot to ask her name. Shit."
Jungkook stands before the door of room 1403, realizing he doesn't even know her name. He runs a hand through his hair, frustrated yet intrigued. He glances around, noticing a room service cart nearby. An idea strikes him. Brilliant. Jungkook quickly snatches the room service receipt from the cart and glances at it. It has her name written on it.
Min YN.
He smirks, tucking the receipt into his pocket. Now he knows her name. He reluctantly leaves, not wanting to draw unwanted attention, but making sure to commit her name to memory.
Min YN.
He takes the elevator back down, already planning his next move.
YN.
He whispers to himself, a small smirk playing on his lips.
Cute name.
Over the next few days, Jungkook finds himself watching the hotel entrance like a hawk. He sees YN leave for work in the morning. His stalking officially begins. He starts noting down her daily routine, where she eats lunch, what time she leaves work, her favorite café. Unable to resist any longer, Jungkook decides to approach YN again. He waits outside her favorite cafe one afternoon, pretending to casually look at his phone. As she exits, he deliberately bumps into her, coffee in hand.
Oh, I'm so clumsy. Excuse me.
She nearly drops her bag from the impact, her eyes meeting his again. Damn it! Watch your... Wait! She pauses, realizing it's the same guy from the airport. You.
Oh hey, what a surprise seeing you here.
He says with a knowing smirk, intentionally holding eye contact a little too long.
Let me make it up to you this time. Coffee? Or did you want something else?
His tone carries a slight double entendre, making him smirk internally. She raises an eyebrow, catching his hidden meaning. Just coffee, she answers shortly, trying to hide that his flirtatious behavior doesn't affect her. Black, she adds, putting her hair up in a messy bun, exposing her neck. Jungkook's eyes immediately fall to her neck, noticing how soft and delicate it looks. He forces himself to maintain eye contact.
Black, got it.
He orders 2 black coffees, handing her one.
You know, I keep bumping into you. Almost like fate.
Fate? She scoffs, taking a sip of her coffee. More like a coincidence. She looks at him, her eyes scanning his muscular arms and sharp jawline. What's your name anyway? I'm Nen.
Jungkook.
He answers smoothly, his eyes locking with hers. He sees the way she looks him over, noticing her checking out his arms and jawline. He likes it.
Nice to officially meet you, YN, even if it is because of a coincidence.
She rolls her eyes at his smooth response, trying to play it cool. Jungkook, suits you. She takes another sip. So, Jungkook, what do you do? Besides bumping into strangers? He chuckles at her rolling eyes, enjoying the banter.
Besides bumping into beautiful strangers?
He teases.
I'm in business. I travel a lot for work.
He answers, vaguely, not wanting to give too much away.
What about you, YN?
Model? She answers shortly, watching his reaction. I travel a lot too. She adjusts her shirt, pulling it down slightly more, showing a bit of cleavage. She notices how his eyes flicker downwards for a second before meeting her gaze again. Excuse me, I need to use the bathroom. She left her phone on the table. As soon as she gets up, Jungkook wastes no time. He quickly grabs her phone, unlocking it with the passcode he had noticed her entering earlier, 1764, so predictable. As soon as she disappears into the restroom, she smirks to herself. She leaves the phone there purposely. She looks at herself in the mirror reflection and smirks to herself, adjusting her lipstick. Meanwhile, he swiftly scans through her photos and social media messenger. No boyfriend? Noted. Then he notices her contacts list. He quickly takes her number before putting the phone back exactly where she left it. She returns, sitting back down. She takes another sip of her cold coffee, crossing her legs under the table. So, Jungkook, you're single, right? Jungkook leans back casually, a smirk playing on his lips as he watches her unintentionally provocative posture.
Why do you ask?
He raises an eyebrow, amused by her direct question.
Are you interested?
He teases back, enjoying this flirtatious exchange. Maybe? She leans forward slightly, her eyes meeting his. Just curious why a guy like you isn't taken. Her low-cut top is doing its work, drawing his attention. Though I can guess, maybe, you're probably a player. She stands up. Thanks for the coffee. Jungkook's eyes follow her movements, lingering on her exposed cleavage before snapping back up to her face. He stands up as well, his gaze intense.
You think I'm a player?
He steps closer, invading her personal space. She tilts her chin up defiantly, not backing down. Aren't you? Her voice is. Over the past few days, he's made sure to visit everywhere she goes at the same time every day, hoping to bump into her again. Today, he sits at the bar counter, sipping his drink, when he feels a presence behind him.
Funny how we keep running into each other.
She slides onto the stool next to him. Coincidence. She orders a drink, her eyes scanning the bar before resting on him. Jungkook. She says his name like it's familiar, like they've known each other for years. He smiles at her casual use of his name, enjoying their easy banter.
And here I thought you might pretend you didn't know me.
Taking a sip of her drink, she sets her glass down and turns to face him fully, her leg brushing against his. He turns slightly towards her, his leg casually pressing against hers.
You are looking breathtakingly, goddess.
His eyes flicker to her lips again, his arm brushing against hers on the counter. She meets his gaze, her heart racing at the proximity. Thanks for the compliment. Her voice barely above a whisper. She leans in slightly, their faces inches apart. Or are you flirting? She bites her lower lip, her eyes locked on his. His breath catches in his throat as she bites her lip, the intimate gesture driving him crazy. Without breaking eye contact, he slowly leans in closer.
Something like that.
His voice comes out lower, more husky than usual. He slowly closed distance between them, capturing her lips in a sudden, intense kiss. He's been wanting to do this since the first time he saw her, and now he's finally giving in to the urge. Her eyes widen in surprise for a split second before fluttering closed as Jungkook's lips capture hers. She finds herself melting into the kiss, her hand automatically coming up to grip the front of his shirt. After a long, passionate moment, she reluctantly pulls back, her chest heaving slightly. He releases her lips with a soft sigh, his hand still cupping her cheek as he stares into her dazed eyes. He can see the want and desire in her gaze, and it only fuels his own.
I could do that for the rest of the night if you let me.
And what if I said yes? He chuckles darkly, his fingers splaying out on her lower back possessively. He rests his forehead against hers.
You make it hard to stop.
He whispers, glancing around the bar.
Let's get out of here.
Where? She asks quickly, licking her lips. Your place? She adds teasingly, testing his reaction.
You read my mind.
He growls, standing up and offering his hand to pull her up. She takes his hand, allowing him to pull her up. As she stands, she presses her body against his, her arms wrapping around his neck. Let's go then, she whispers against his ear before biting the lobe playfully. Wanna date me? He inhales sharply as she bites his ear, a shudder running down his spine. His hands squeeze her hips automatically, pulling her closer.
Funny, I thought I already was dating you.
He smirks confidently, his voice dropping to a teasing murmur. She laughs softly, unwrapping herself from him. You know what I mean, dummy. She swats his chest playfully, like the girlfriend-boyfriend thing. His smirk softens into a gentle smile as realization dawns. He catches her hand before she can pull it away, intertwining their fingers.
You want me to officially put a label on it, huh?
He leans down, pressing a soft, quick kiss to her lips. She blushes at the quick kiss, squeezing his hand. Maybe. She glances up at him through her lashes. Or maybe I just want to hear you say it out loud. Her thumb gently strokes the back of his hand. His heart skips a beat at her words, his thumb rubbing circles on the back of her hand in response. He looks into her eyes, searching for any sign of doubt or hesitation.
All right then.
He says softly, his voice filled with emotion.
You're my girlfriend, my official girlfriend.
As soon as the words leave his mouth, he feels a sense of relief and happiness wash over him. He pulls her hand up to his lips, pressing a gentle kiss to her knuckles.
Now let's go home and celebrate properly.
His thoughts.
This is perfect. She's finally mine, officially. I've been stalking her for months, learning everything about her, and now I get to keep her all to myself. I can protect her, take care of her, and make her mine in every way possible.
Her thoughts. Ha! Little did he know, I was the one stalking him for years. I knew everything about him, his habits, his likes, his dislikes. I made sure to fall into his trap, playing the damsel in distress to get his attention. And now he's officially mine. As they walk out of the bar hand in hand, she can't help but smirk secretly to herself, thrilled by how perfectly her plan has unfolded. She squeezes his hand, leaning her head on his shoulder as if in a moment of pure affection. Jungkook looks down at her, wrapping his arm around her shoulders protectively. He's completely oblivious to the fact that she's been watching him since high school. Flashback. Freshman year. She watches Jungkook from afar, her notebook filled with sketches of his face. She knows his schedule, his favorite subjects, and his best friends. She hides behind books and trees to watch him laugh and practice soccer. Jungkook never noticed her, but today, it all paid off, officially dating Jungkook. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, and for more FFs, subscribe.